What's going on, Colts Nation? Appreciate you joining me for another video where in this one we're going to talk about a little bit of news that came out today, a couple different tweets that I saw that include the Colts. And of course, we're talking about the quarterback position, which is one that we continue to year after year after year have almost the same conversation and trying to figure out who the quarterback is. So if you enjoy the content, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you get notified anytime we drop any content on this channel. And as we continue to get into this and talking about the quarterback position, what news did I see? What tweets did I see? Well, first it started with one that was a little like, maybe we're just doing our homework here. But apparently the Colts having a visit with a quarterback named Tyler Shough, I think is maybe how you say it. Not really sure. Shough. And nonetheless, this is a guy, as I continue to look into him, somebody who spent the last year of his college career at Louisville, but before that was 3 years at Texas Tech, 3 years at Oregon. And just to put it into perspective, how long this dude has been in college. In 2019 at Oregon, he played in 5 games as Justin Herbert's backup. Okay, Justin Herbert already has his second contract in the NFL. And this dude, in his second year, his sophomore season, was Justin Herbert's backup and still in college in 2024. So coming out much older than a guy like Anthony Richardson. As I looked into more about, who this dude is as a prospect, he has good size, is 6'5", 219. Of course, that's, pretty ideal size in my opinion for a quarterback. Maybe beef him up a little bit, but nonetheless, talking about what he can do on the field, what he can't. This is one where, as I went through it, it seemed like comparison-wise, like people talking about what he can do well, what he can. I didn't go watch tape on him, just looking at different things that have been said about him and trying to compare, okay, what's one thing that like everybody says about this guy? Well, it seems like he's a bit of a Carson Wentz, where he has some arm talent that he's going to make some plays that are like, whoa. Like, whoa, the natural ability to be able to make some of those plays is crazy, but he also is erratic under pressure and somebody who can make bad decisions because he's not super mobile, not somebody that can move a lot. So it's interesting. I actually saw his draft position. Draft projection is between rounds 2 and 3. And it feels like this is somebody who, as I looked into him, like this feels like somebody who's like 5th round at best. Now, in the first mock draft I did, I had us taking Riley Leonard in the 5th round, right? I picked up some different draft picks throughout the draft, ended up with 10 picks instead of 7, and I drafted Riley Leonard in the 5th round. And in our last mock draft, of course, no quarterback there. Didn't make sense with only 7 draft picks. Doesn't make sense. So will we spend a draft pick? Like if we drafted this dude, like, then it's like we should just re-sign Sam. I know this dude would be cheaper, but it's like if we drafted this guy, then we should have just kept Sam, to be completely honest with you. So there's that. But the one that's really going to make the headlines is Quinn Ewers having a second visit with the Colts. I believe it's actually tomorrow is going to be the visit. But nonetheless, the Colts, part of their personnel department and part of their coaching staff, has already spent a good amount of time with Quinn Ewers at the pro day. That news had come out. So Quinn Ewers, 6'2", 214. This is a guy that when you watch him play, and honestly, like just looking through everything that everybody says about him, forming your own opinion, he played at Texas. This is a guy that I actually did see play a little bit of football. And I feel like similar in a lot of ways to Brock Purdy, where like the arm isn't special, but he can get the ball to the right place most of the time. Now, there are going to be some things that he needs to work on, right? Brock Purdy came in. Brock Purdy, very smart. And Brock Purdy came in, was able to really hone in on the things that he needed to do better, and he's continued to get better and better, especially in that Shanahan offense, which is same kind of concept we're talking about with Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers isn't going to come in and be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He's somebody who can operate a good offense, and he's somebody who, again, he's smart enough to be able to get the ball to the correct places. He just doesn't have that special arm talent. Now, he is a guy that has some athletic ability. Something that I saw was called functional mobility. I thought that was an interesting way to describe it, but when you're talking about just a quarterback that needs to be able to get out, he has the mobility to be able to do that. It's just sometimes one of the weaknesses against him, and one of the knocks against him is that sometimes, because of his mobility and his comfortability throwing the ball as he's running, that is something he does well, which is definitely a plus. But he almost will leave a clean pocket too soon, and can do the same thing that we were talking about with the last quarterback, where Quinn Ewers, sometimes he will be a little erratic, right? Pressure's coming and he'll make a bad decision. Right, so he has a little bit of that Carson Wentz in him. If you can coach that out of him, again, we have an offense that can kind of operate itself, and we've seen that with different quarterbacks. It can operate itself. The offense has to be able to make plays, and you have to have a quarterback that can not only be accurate on a more consistent basis than what we've experienced, but you also have to have a quarterback that can throw the ball downfield on a more consistent basis than we're used to seeing. So it's really just, what do the Colts want to do in this upcoming draft? Again, Tyler Shough, or however you want to say his name, I just don't really see him being much of an option for us, at least not a serious option. And honestly, like, I'm not, if you've seen any of my content before, you've heard me say before, not a big Quinn Ewers guy. Not, again, I guess it's the same conversation as Brock Purdy coming out. Like, he was Mr. Irrelevant. Like, nobody expected Brock Purdy to turn into Brock Purdy. So, like, the positives are there for Quinn Ewers. It's honing in on those and mitigating the things that he's not good at and being able to coach him up. If you can do that, Quinn Ewers can be a guy for somebody, and I think somebody can turn him into a guy. It's just, of course, for me, I want Anthony to work out. I'm still in a place where I want Anthony to work out, so that's what I hope happens at the end of the day. Or Daniel Jones, for that matter. To be honest with you, I've always been a Daniel Jones guy. One of my best friends, he's a Giants fan, and I've been telling him for years, like, if you protect Daniel Jones and put the weapons around him, he might actually be good. But the Giants have done a terrible job building that team. And Daniel Jones' offensive line and receivers really haven't been good there with the Giants. So I think the situation he's walking into now, just as favorable as it was last year. But obviously last year, the Vikings had Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold was playing well. So there's really no reason to put Daniel Jones in at any point. But that was a good situation. This is also a pretty good situation for Daniel Jones. And whoever comes out on top comes out on top. I don't really care. I would prefer Anthony to be the guy. He's younger. I have 2 jerseys. It would be nice if Anthony was the guy. But at the end of the day, I just want us to have good quarterback play. Will that be Quinn Ewers in the future? Will the quarterback competition that we have be meaningless because we draft Quinn Ewers and he ends up becoming the guy? Great question. And of course, like always, I would love to know what you guys think. With Quinn Ewers having his second visit with the Colts and spending more time with the Colts, do you think this is something the Colts should consider at some point in the draft? And where would you take Quinn Ewers if that's what we were going to do? You let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you guys. And of course, make sure, if you enjoy the content, hit that like button for me. Helps the channel out a lot. Of course, make sure you're subscribed, have notifications on so you continue to get notified anytime we drop any content on this channel. Appreciate you stopping by for another video. As always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.